Boom. And now we're live on YouTube. So good. Welcome to everybody. Great. What is it? Wednesday afternoon again. I love it. It doesn't feel like it's been an entire week since the last time we were together. So Melissa checks in first, says, hey, y'all. Good to see you, Melissa. Been a long time since we chatted, but it's good to see you for sure. So we'll get started here in about, 8 minutes or so. I just wanted to just check in early, see how you're doing, see if there's any questions I can answer. Venetia is here, says hello. Joanne says, whew, I'm here. Yeah, getting here is, I had to turn my volume off on my phone. Getting here is, what's the word? It's weird because it's just boom, all of a sudden the time just shows up. Our schedules are weird now. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But so good to see all of you guys checking in. Ronnie from Manteca. We said that last week. I finally got it right. Janine is here. Woo! Janine's over there. Whoop, whoop. Kathleen, hello. Joanne says, I missed everyone last week because I was hanging out with my son and his family. Very valid reason. No one's going to fault you for that. I get it. Very, very cool. Let's see. Lana's here. Cookie, hello. Nanette is here from Downers Grove, Illinois. Good to see you. I got a great show for you today. Why do I have the title wrong in the show again? I have 303 again. Ugh. It's my fault. Anyway, Lisa's done a great job of getting episode 304. Her and Heather done a great job getting this thing ready for you. I'm excited to listen to it. I'm excited to see where it goes. It's going to be fun. Ronnie is here. Good pronunciation of Manteca. Did I get it right? Yeah. So anyway, so good. Carrie's here from Chesterton. Kathy from Columbus. Lee is here. New Jersey. Randy, good to see you, sir. Been a while. Very fun. Maybe you were here last week. It's just hard for me to keep track of who's here and who's not here. Lindsay, hey. Oh, it's fun to see you. It was good hanging out with you socially distanced last weekend. It was fun. Emily from Columbus, Wisconsin. Jean is here. Maryland, Nancy. Debbie G in the house. Very fun. Janine has... So I can see, Janine, I can pin that comment now to the column. So do you see that as an option or no? You still don't? Anyway. Well, cool. All right, so we'll get started in just a couple minutes. Just wanted to come in and just see how you're doing, see what's going on. Got a lot of exciting news for you guys. I want you to, two things. Check out, go to fatdag.com, click on the WhysAdvice podcast link, and then click on the community. There's a community widget that I built in. If you're already part of the Patreon community and the Discord group, you probably already have access. If you're not, I've made some significant changes there to kind of build that community, and I'll talk about it a little bit during the show, but I'm interested in, I'm not going to say this too loud, but I'm interested in moving away from Facebook a little bit. So, I don't know. We'll talk about that coming up in the show as well. So, let's see. Bonnie is here. Hello. Paulette from Northern California. Mona, how are you from Missouri? I'm good from Indianapolis. So if you're good from Missouri, I'm good in Indy. We're like neighbors and stuff. So very fun. Thanks for being here. Lee says, I'm somewhat confused. Is this the episode for Wednesday? No, Lee, this is the episode for right now. I know I made the change because I was typing it in, but I'm wondering why it pulls the old information. So I don't know, because I know I changed it, but anyway, it's all good. You guys, we're here. That's all that matters. The numbers don't matter. Oh yeah, Kathy says nice haircut. Yeah, so I'm not so sure. What do you think? Janine likes it. Yeah, Lisa, yeah, the haircut's a giveaway. Yeah, I just don't like it so short on the sides here. Right? I know, maybe I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm going to go 2 years this time without a haircut. So that's the game plan now. 2 years from the last haircut. I went 1 year. Now I'm going to go 2. I'm going to kind of keep doubling it up. Chico, California. Connie's here. Amy's here. Hello. Out of Connecticut. Kathy says hello to Amy, which is fun. That's what's kind of cool is you guys make your own little friends and community as we're all just building together. It's super awesome. So Diane says, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Diane. Great catching up with you this morning. I always love I love it when you and I have the opportunity to talk because you're just so full of energy and so full of fire that it's the highlight of my day for sure. So thanks for the chat this morning. It was fun. Yeah, Ronnie says better than a buzz. Yeah, I don't know. Kim says you like the haircut. Yeah, I don't know. Danny D Mo's in the house. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Mona says, what workbook? Fatdag.com. Click on the get the free workbook right at the front of the webpage. Go to fatdag.com, scroll down, you get the free workbook. And then after you get the workbook, click on the podcast link and join the community. And we'll talk about it inside there. So, whew. Yeah, Nancy, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know that I'm leaving Facebook. I'm not making that. Facebook is too much ingrained in everything we do in our society. So I'm not leaving Facebook, but I'm trying to build a community outside of Facebook so that we can. My issue with Facebook is when I'm in Facebook trying to stay focused on one task, I get too many other alerts and messages from Facebook that bring me back out, and too many other posts that bring me back out into distraction mode. So I'm trying to eliminate distractions. That's what I'm really trying to do. Lindsay says, no way you'll make it 2 years. No, I don't think I will either. I was half joking. Karen's here from Florida. Danny's going to be able to hang out for the whole show. Very nice. Very cool. All right. So cool. Well, let's go ahead and dive into this. 304, a lifelong learning opportunity. Say that 10 times fast. Makes it a little difficult. Lifelong learning opportunity. Lifelong learning opportunity. Yeah, it can be done. So what we're going to do, the format is, of course, in about, a couple minutes here, I will record the show, let you watch episode 304 being recorded live. I will make the recording over there. I will send the audio to Jacob. Jacob will edit it, and sometime tomorrow afternoon it'll be in the WhysAdvice app. There's a new WhysAdvice app coming out as well. I got a lot of updates. It feels like it's been 10 years since we chatted. So I want to make a note. WhysAdvice app, workbook, and 4 things I want to talk about in the opening of the show. But man, it's only been a week, it feels like. So, whew. All right, are you guys ready? Let's do some of this stuff. Mic check, testing. Wow, I must not have played with the dials too much last week because everything looks to be in the right spot. So that's good. Whew, that makes it a lot easier. You guys know, right? Oops, Janine keeps telling me to fix these. You guys know that technology. I like technology. Trust me, I do. But I like playing with it, not relying on it. How's that? So, yeah. Michael says, "What happened to the haircut?" It's there. It's a heck of a lot shorter. You should have seen the pile that was on the floor. Man, we could have donated it or something. So, Anna says, loves the workbook. Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, let's go ahead and do this episode 304. So we have some very cold airman water. Look at that, nice and chilly. So, grab your water. If you don't have one, go get one. We do a toast before every episode to toast to your good health, and it's a good way to get a lot of water in. So, cheers to you. Listen to this pop. It's going to sound awesome. Are you ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2. Oh, that was perfect. Tell me you didn't love that. Cheers. Whew. I love that. Was that pop not one of the best ones we've had? I think it was pretty good. I don't know. I thought it was pretty awesome. I love that noise. It's the noise that gets me in the mood to be like, all right, let's do this. Bum, 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 bum. I wish I was in the booth or I wish I was in the studio because Jacob would have some music pumping, and I'd be jumping up and down and ready to rock it out. So anyway, Yeah, so a couple questions I see in the chat before we get going, and I will explain this in the podcast, but I want to do it without having to think about it. So two things. There's a workbook, fatdag.com. Go to the front page. It's called the Wiser Me workbook. It's the 5 questions, and it goes through some goal setting. And there's some moving, eating, and thinking goals pages. The workbook's completely free. I want to give away 10,000 copies of this thing, and so far we're at, I want to say just over 1,500 or so. I have to look at the number in a week and a half. So I'm pretty happy with that, but I want to get to 10,000 of that. So that's number one. Number two is get into the Discord community. Go to fatdag.com. Click on the WhysAdvice podcast link. Inside there'll be a button that says Join the Community. Click on Connect. Join inside there. Hop in there. That is completely free. That's number two. What's number 3 I want to talk about? We've got merchandise. Janine, this is all Janine, by the way. You can thank her in the comments. So she's like, why don't you have your shirts for sale on your website? I'm like, because I'm tired. It's a lot of work. She goes, I'll take it over. I'm like, oh, great. So Janine has put some T-shirts and some towels and stickers and all the stuff that we've collected over the years. She put that finally available to get in your hands. This is one of them, the WhysAdvice magnet, right? So she's taking care of that. And the actual WhysAdvice app, which is in your app store, that's free as well. That app is getting updated. I just got the note from Apple saying the app has been accepted. So now I'm waiting for Apple to release the updated version of the WhysAdvice app. It's been about 2 years since we've updated the app. So it's time for a little bit of a refresh. Not much changing in it. It's mostly cosmetic and stability. So you'll recognize that. That'll be kind of cool. So Lisa scented underwear now available on fatdag.com. So Lee, we can always count on you for the comic relief. So I don't know. So anyway, as you look at the merch stuff, a lot of the stuff, what we decided to do was just let you pre-order it so that, we figure out who wants what. If there's something specific you're looking for, talk to Janine. Nothing to do with it. Nothing. No, that's all her. Anyway, cool. Let's get this done. Audio check, level 1, 2, check, mic check. All right, sounds good. Jacob, how are you, sir? Good to see Jacob in the booth again. I think we'll be back in the studio soon, but no real update on that. So I'm going to have to ask Jacob. This was me asking Jacob, hey, when are we coming back into the studio? So we will work on that. So last but not least, you guys seen the transcripts, right? The transcripts are inside the app as well. So those are my 4 talking points for this. And let's go ahead and let's do this. I am your host, Fat Dag. You're listening to WhysAdvice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, all at WhysAdvice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 304 of WhysAdvice. And I was just talking with the gang live on Facebook and live on YouTube just before we went to the actual recording. And it's like, man, it feels like it's been a lot longer than a week since we did episode 303. I have a lot to update you on, and I'm going to kind of run through it fast because I want to get into the show. Lisa and Heather have done an amazing job curating the content for this show. Your email can be on the show. It's that simple. On air at fatdag.com. Shoot in an email. Tell me what you're happy about. Tell me what you're struggling with. Tell me your celebrations. Tell me your journey and how you're persevering anyways. I want to hear all that. I want to share it with the audience. That's what makes this show go. So thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening wherever you're getting your feed, whether it be Spotify, Pandora, from the WhysAdvice app. Just thank you truly for having the courage and having the strength to share your journey with our audience so that we all know that we're not alone. That's the value of everything we do. Speaking of the WhysAdvice app in your app store, you're going to notice real soon it's going to get a complete refresh. It's going to look a lot different coming up soon. I got the note from Apple telling me everything was good. They are now working on getting that release out soon. So I'm going to guess by a week or so, you should have a brand new app mostly cosmetic. It looks really good, so go ahead and check that out when it gets here. A couple other things real quick. Go to fatdag.com. There's a lot going on fatdag.com. We did a complete overhaul there as well. Added a whole bunch of things. A lot of folks have been asking, how do we get the shirt that says Fat Dag on it? And, just a lot of work to kind of bring that to life. And Janine said, I'll take it. And so Mrs. Dag said, you know what, fine, I'll do it. So she built an entire store out there. So there's a merchandise link to go ahead and pre-order some of that stuff if that's something you want. Yes, it is. I know it is. So get over to fatdag.com there. While you're there, click on the WhysAdvice podcast link. There's a brand new community as well. We've been using it for the Patreon community for a long time, but I found a way to open it up to the rest of the world so that we can kind of build our own community inside a much smaller private app that doesn't bring us the social distractions that some of the other social media platforms bring. So get over to fatdag.com. Just do a lot of exploring. Just keep an eye on everything that's going on there and just keep up with what's going on here. So thanks again for being here. Could not do this show without you. Your email is really the heart of the show. I see from time to time on Twitter, there's an account called Podcast Movement, and they kind of own the podcast space, and they kind of keep podcasters in the straight and narrow, whatever the term is. And they ask quite frequently, how do you engage with your audience, or how do you get your audience to listen? And I always answer with something very basic like, oh, I wouldn't have a show if I didn't have listeners, because every one of these episodes is you guys writing in, telling your story. That's what makes this show so unique, is that if you just relied on one story, you'd only get one story. But we have so many other people who are awesome, who are doing amazing things, and the opportunity for them to share everything they got going on in their life is truly what makes us special. The first one from this show comes in out of Austin, Texas. Jennifer writes in, says, "Hey, Mike, it's your long-lost friend from Austin. I've been saying I would write in forever, and well, today is the day. I'm a little behind on the podcast, but I'm catching up quickly. I wanted to write in and share my thoughts on how I have persevered during this time of quarantine and social distancing. Rule number 1, you have to be kind to yourself. I've had to deal with some major stressors over the last 2 months. I won't share the details here, but stress and quarantine are not a good combo. And instead of listening to all the things I'm struggling with, instead of listing them, I thought it would be good to share some of the positive things that came completely from being stuck at home. Gardening. Yes, I never had time to garden with all of my travels, but now I have zucchini, cucumber, tomatoes, Brussels sprouts, watermelon, cantaloupe, carrots, and onions, and I love to go out and pick the weeds. I know, that is so crazy. Number 2, more time with my dogs and training my chickens. Well, at least one of them. Her name is Doris, and she loves treats. Visiting WW workshops all over the world. Getting 12,000 steps a day, including Camp Gladiator boot camp workout. I love it. Increasing variety in my meals and snacks by combing through my old WW cookbooks. Some of my favorites are mango sorbet, cinnamon pecan bread, butternut squash soup, and overnight chocolate peanut butter banana oats. Walking with my husband in the morning and my kids in the evening. Working from home. No commute, no shoes, no problem, thanks to technology, my office, and Zoom. I'm enjoying nature, especially all the wonderful birds that live in my area. Bluebirds, titmouse, house wrens, roadrunners, my favorite, cardinals, and more. Oh, and he can count tarantulas on our evening walks. We're up to 5 a night. Swimming. I'm so very blessed to have a swimming pool. Reading. I just finished All the Light We Cannot See. It's highly recommended. The list really goes on and on. My one struggle is stress eating, especially sweets, but I continue to work on that and celebrate my successes. Overall, I've lost 75 pounds, and I'm still hovering right at the top of my lifetime weight range. Thank you for all you do for this community. I am so grateful that WWU, the WhysAdvice, all came into my life, and I am here trudging away and helping everyone I can along the way. All the best. Most sincerely, Jennifer. Jennifer, good to catch up again with you. You're right. We go way back, and it was fun to meet you multiple times in person. You're just an absolute delight and a joy to hang out with, and you're just an awesome human being. And so this email does not surprise me one bit, that you were able to completely understand that the process that we have to take is we've got to look at everything going on in our life, and we have to understand which ones that we can celebrate and which ones we can focus on and which ones we can give the attention to. I said it in episode 303. I talked about, the question came in and said, what am I doing wrong? And I really just said, switch it. Let's make a list of what are you doing right? Guys, it's incredibly therapeutic when you sit down and switch the narrative and say, hey, I know I could make a list all day long of the things that aren't going my way. But if I take a moment and reach into this heart of gratitude and say, what is it that I'm doing right? And it didn't take long, Jennifer, for you to do that. And like I said, it doesn't surprise me because I know you so well to know that you have that capability and that you found the opportunity to make this list. And I think, as you started writing it out, you ended the list with I could go on, and I think that's what happens. Guys, when we first start asking ourselves, what is it that's going right? We come up with one or two relatively quickly. And then we start writing more and more, and before you know it, they just start flowing, because there's so much we have to be grateful for. No matter what's going on in your life, there are plenty of opportunities to find the positivity. And what usually happens is, as you start making a list like this, you start finding others, and slowly that smile comes to your face. And one of my favorite things in the WW workshops that I lead, I lead now 6 a week. But one of my favorite things about leading the WW workshops is I know they're online. I know we're all tired of being on Zoom. I get all that. And I ask every week, I'm like, every workshop, please turn your camera on. And I know, I get it. I get that not everyone wants to have their camera on. I know that. But here's why I want you to do it. It's because when I say, how was your week? What's the best thing you did this week? And you say something back like, hey, I visited a workshop all over the world, or I went walking with my husband in the morning, or I'm working from home, no shoes, no problem. What's incredibly infectious about you saying that is the smile that comes from your face. It's that visual confirmation that you're doing the right things. And so my favorite part of the workshop is loving and looking and watching you smile as you tell me some of the most amazing things that you're doing in your life. And then what I also notice is you may not notice this, because I can see about 50 cameras at a time when I'm looking into the workshop. My favorite part, after I watch you smile and tell your story, I can glance around the room and I can count the amount of people who went from just a kind of a stoic face to all of a sudden they're smiling with you. That's why I want you to turn your camera on. I don't care if your hair is not done. I don't care if your makeup's not done. I barely care if you're dressed, other than just be presentable, right? But what I want to see is that smile. I get paid on smiles. That's where my joy comes from. Hey, I'm going to be honest, I love WW, but it's not exactly breaking the bank, right? And so I do this because I love watching you completely transform your life. And you start by changing the narrative. You start by saying, instead of focusing on all the things that potentially could be going down the wrong path, what can I smile over? What can I share a smile with a stranger over that now we're smiling together simply because I'm enjoying nature? Simply because I'm training a chicken, right? There are so many things that we can do. And Jennifer, you've taken the time to write it all down. And it's no wonder you're down 75 pounds. Because you've understood that the piece of this journey that is the most valuable is your attitude. No one cares what you look like. No one cares what you weigh if you come into life with a bad attitude. If you come in with a good attitude, we're willing to take that to the bank. Because those are people we want to hang out with. Those are people we want to emulate, we want to be. And so when you switch the narrative and start focusing on the good things, and you bring your A game as far as attitude, and you bring that smile into the workshop, you bring that smile into your office, you bring that smile into everybody you encounter, people look at you and they go, I'll have what she's having, right? People look at you and say, I want that. And then the more you do that, the more you just go, yeah, this is a fun life. And so you really have done an amazing job. And, I remember early on when we first met, you talking about the nature of your job and how, being in front of the room and presenting 75 pounds heavier is different. And the confidence that you now have presenting and being in front of a room 75 pounds down, yeah, it's different. And it goes all the way back to what I just said about that smile. When you're at the front of a room, when you're at a workshop, when you're engaging with an audience, and you smile, it's what's the word I'm looking for? That is this universal sign of happiness. And when you tell everyone you have it, it just emulates all across the world. So, it's an honor to know you. It's an honor to walk with you. It's an honor to be a part of this community with you. And I'm truly, truly proud of you for your 75-pound continued maintenance and loss. You're doing an awesome work. And I love your list. I want you to continue taking inventory, right? Because the list, as you said, goes on and on and on. Well, then really make it go on and on and on. Every single day, write down one thing that you're grateful for. And I made a room inside the community chat that we have now with Discord. I made a room for what went right today. I forget what I worded it, but something along those lines. And what I'm asking you to do is every day, just tell me what went well. Just one sentence. Tell me just the highlight of your day. Let's smile together and move on. So Jennifer, again, big hearts to you. Love you guys down in Austin. Thanks for all that you do. Next email from this show comes in out of East Tennessee. Nancy writes in and said, hey, it has been a journey. I did WW 4 years ago and I lost 35 pounds. Recently, in March and April, my world was turned upside down. I was in Mississippi for over 52 days and finally relocated back to my beloved East Tennessee. What did I bring back with me? An ex-husband who has been disabled for 5+ years, who hasn't walked and is overweight. I am his last hope. We've been apart for 30 years, and during that 30 years, he gained weight. When I got a hold of him and I told him that I would take care of him, he decided it was time. I put him on WW starting at 420 pounds. 1 month later, he is down to 411. That might not seem like a big deal, but it is. He now putters around with his walker and walks approximately 250 feet in one direction and back after taking a little bit of a rest. We have a long way to go, but we're doing it together. While there isn't a love connection between us, there is a friendship and a building of companionship. We are doing this together. Go WW, building better lives. Be kind to everyone. It doesn't cost a thing. Nancy. Nancy, what a blessing you are in his life. And, and he obviously recognizes it at this time. And so how just incredibly gracious of you to say, yeah, I want to help you. And I do believe you're right. You are probably his last hope. And when he had nowhere else to turn, he turned to you and you accepted. And what a lesson for life that is. And what an amazing gesture in that, and it just continues to prove for all of us, no matter where you are in life, if you feel like you're at the end, you're not. There are opportunities for you to turn a different direction and find someone who's willing to be there for you, no matter what it is. And like I said, it's a bigger lesson for life is that it's never, ever over. There's always somebody in places you may least expect it. There's always someone just like Nancy saying, hey, how can I help you? Regardless of your past, regardless of what's going on before, how can I help you? And so I'm telling you, if you're in that lane, don't ever give up. Keep searching for Nancy. Keep searching for Nancy to say, I got you. and she will be there, or he will be there. Whoever that Nancy is in your life, there, I promise you, there is somebody out there that's willing to take after you and take care of you when you feel like you're there. So Nancy, thanks for that. And so I want to go through your journey as well. 35 pounds down. You decided that 4 years ago that you did this and you found success. My favorite thing about WW members is when they come back to the community, or they come back to the group, or however they rejoin, is that very few people do something, pay money into it, stop doing it because it didn't work, and then are willing to pay money to do it again. When you come back to WW, when you come back to whatever program you did, when you come back, it means you found success in that area. That's the only reason you're willing to pay more to try again. So you now have an increased responsibility. You're armed with the knowledge of knowing you can do this, and you're bringing your ex-husband of 30 years ago with you, and you're completely giving him a much better life as he goes. And I'm proud of him. Down to 411 from 420, that's not accidental. You can't do that on accident. That's very deliberate. That's you taking care of him. And I always cringe a little bit when someone says something in their email along these lines, and it says that might not seem like a big deal. Guys, I really want you to strike those words from your vocabulary. And I get where you're coming from with it, but it goes back to stay in your lane. Focus on the things that you can control. Focus on the things that you have responsibility for. And if you want to lose 4 pounds and that's as much as you want to lose, go do it. That's 100% of your journey. And so if you started at 420 pounds and you're down to 411, and you want to think, it may not seem like a big deal, it's a huge deal, because you have changed. You have made that momentum shift that starts building a better you. It's not about the number. It's never been about the number. It's about you putting in the effort and giving it the focus and the attention that it deserves to completely change the trajectory of your life. It's a huge deal. I don't even care if it was 420 to 419. It was recognizing that I've got to do something, reaching out for help, accepting help, finding competent help of someone who knows the program, trusts the program, has had success on the program, and saying, okay, we're doing this. The results are not the celebration. It's the actions we take to get the results are the celebration. I want to say that again. The results are not the celebration. It's the actions that you take along the way. That's where we celebrate. And you get so fun, you get to have so much fun celebrating that when the results get here, yeah, that's another celebration, but that's not the big one. The big one is day one, when you decide, I'm going to change my life. Change your life. Reach out for some help. Find someone competent enough to say, I got you. Reach back and help somebody change their life as well. Nancy, what a blessing you are. And I'm telling you, we need to make this an internet meme, right? And, we have the Karens of the world. We now have the Nancys of the world as well. And they're much better, right? And so now, let's start doing this. When someone's saying they're having a bad day, so you just need a Nancy, right? Hey, man, I'm really having a rough day today. You need a Nancy. That's what you need. Oh, Mike, this and this and this, fat dag, this, and you know what? You know what you need? You need a Nancy. Nancy, thank you so much for being kind. You're absolutely right. It doesn't cost a thing. Guys, man, that was really, really fun. I love those kinds of emails where you guys reach back into the community and help each other. And it's just, it just warms my heart. It really does. And that's pretty cool. The last email for this show comes in out of Dover, New Jersey, and it comes in from Rose. Rose writes in, hey, Fat Dag. Wow, I can't actually believe I'm finally writing to you. Over the last few years, I've often said I should write into the show, and I finally decided that today is the day. I'm not on a lot of social media, and I only want to connect because it was a closed group. I'm not one to air what happens in my life on social media, but I consider your podcast a safe space. And so here goes. Yesterday, Sunday, March 8th, 2020, is a day I will forever remember because, wait for it, I hit goal! I listen to you often enough to know to put that accomplishment first. I joined WW for the last and final time on January 29th, 2012. Like many of your other listeners, I joined so many times over the years that I can't even tell you the number of times. I did not have the support at home, as I've done it so many times. I just think people were waiting for me to go back to my old habits. But I was determined this was for me, and the only support I needed was myself. And of course, the meetings. I started this journey 222.4 pounds and on a 5'4" frame, morbidly obese by BMI charts. Who wants to hear or see that? How devastating. I bought a scale, the Withing scale that you recommended on your podcast, and that would give me my BMI number. I was determined to work at removing that morbidly obese tag. I was so excited when I saw obese, then overweight, and now normal at 140.6 pounds, a little below the WW goal weight. I have gone from a size 20 to a size 6 being loose on me. I will say that I don't quit, and I had that. I don't quite have that step on the scale and don't want to lose any more weight yet feeling. But I do feel confident in whatever I choose in my closet to wear. I will focus over these next 6 weeks on my way to lifetime. Wait, what? Well, are you for real? I'm really on the road to lifetime? Yay me! It's been an 8+ year journey to get me to this point. When I joined for the very last time in January of 2012, I talked to myself, as I often do, and I promised myself to set achievable goals, which include some of the following. Number 1, this was going to be my last time joining, and I was never going to leave again. Number 2, I would find a meeting that I could go to every week. I would incorporate exercise into my routine and make it a habit. 4, I would get to goal no matter how long it took. 5, I would make time for me. 6, I would learn to ignore the naysayers. 7, I would follow my path and my journey. 8, I will weigh in at every Sunday meeting I attend. I have made so many friends during this journey. Shout out to my awesome coach, Christina, and our WW guides, Cindy, Sharon, and Barbara. My Sunday morning Denville, New Jersey crew, and so many more new friends that I've met during this journey. Thank you to all of you, because you have helped me to inspire me to keep moving towards my goal. Attending meetings really is a key part of this journey. I think of them as my shot of motivation. Hearing other members and their challenges and successes reminds me that I'm not alone. And if I stay the course, I too will reap the benefits and find the success that I'm looking for. I use Connect and I read about other members' challenges and successes. Those two serve to inspire and motivate me. I have a 45-minute to an hour commute to and from work each day, and I've been using that time wisely the last 6 months to binge listen to WhysAdvice with Fat Dag. I have needed that extra push to keep me focused, and listening to you as you read other members' emails also helps to inspire me and remind me that I'm not alone in the challenges that I faces and other challenges other faces as well. I do not regret the time that has taken me to get to goal, because I have learned so much about myself over that time as a WW member. I keep reminding myself that I did not gain this weight overnight, and as much as I wish there was a magic pill, a potion, or a nose twitch to get the weight off, that's just not going to happen. It does take focus and determination, not wishing for it to happen. I've learned that for me, persistence and perseverance trumps perfection. When not perfect, I've learned to forgive myself and move forward. I have learned with exercise that setting an attendance goals, it trumps a performance goal. Thank you again, Fat Dag, for putting a name to what I had determined would work for me. I've learned to check the point values at the store to determine if I want to bring it in the house or not. I've also, through error and sticker shock, I learned to check the point value before eating something instead of after. I've learned that tracking truly is truly is the key, because as you can look back and of course course correct if needed. I've learned to accept that the plan will change from time to time and to embrace and roll with it, because no matter what the year, it doesn't matter if it was WW, I was able to lose weight by following the plan. What I also came to realize was that every time I joined, it was at a much higher start weight. I've learned not to let a gain derail me. A small gain does not negate all of my hard work. I had one year during this journey where I just couldn't get my act together, and I gained back over 30 of the 40 pounds that I had lost. And I knew that if I just stayed the course and kept attending meetings, that I would eventually get my focus back. I've learned to look back at what I've accomplished and be proud of that. I learned acceptance and celebration of where I am on my journey. I will say that none of the things that I've learned on this journey were necessarily easy, but I can tell you that when I look back at where I started in 2012, at the highest weight of my adult life, 222.4 pounds, and where I am today, 140.4 pounds, the things I learned were necessary to get me here. I started this journey at 55 years young. I'm now 63 years young and so much wiser. And oh my God, I'm in the best shape of my adult life and loving it. Thank you, Fat Dag, for WhysAdvice. I found myself repeating that often over the last several months to help me remain focused on my goal. I can't tell you how many times during this journey I've become complacent, but I've kept the promise to myself not to quit. I keep reminding myself that life is a lifelong learning opportunity. So am I done learning? Absolutely not, because I am not done living. So there will always be more to learn. I have Oprah saying on my phone, so I see it every time I open up the phone: the life you want is waiting to rise up to meet you. As I sit here and write this, my heart is so full today, and I will always remember this date, because I made goal today. I've lost 82 pounds. I really am still trying to take it all in. Thanks again, Fat Dag. Rose out of Dover, New Jersey. Rose, 82 pounds. Congratulations. You have summarized an amazing journey. And Jan chimes in on Facebook saying, "Oh my God, Rose, that is awesome." And I agree completely. There's a lot in your email to unpack, and I want to kind of hit the highlights first because I think they're the most important. You hit goal. Congratulations. That is absolutely the most important. What you have proven to the community, what you have proven to anyone who's listening here, is that not quitting is the answer. Taking 8 years to accomplish this, so many of us don't want to wait that long, so we're not willing to put in the effort. And I say that lovingly. We don't want it to take 8 years. We want it to take 2 months, and we want to be done with it, and we want to move on. But that very rarely happens. The more likely scenario is we gain, we quit, we stop, we quit, we go back, we quit, we come back at a higher start weight, we quit for an even longer period of time, we get frustrated, we gain even more weight, we get even more angry, and then we finally find the motivation and we do it. And then we quit again, and then we do it. That's kind of the more norm. And it may take 8 years, it may take 8 days, but that brain cycle just keeps going, and we go through ups and downs forever. And what you have outlined, and what you have demonstrated, and what you have now given to this community is the gift of perseverance. You've given someone the opportunity who now maybe a year into this or 2 years into it that isn't exactly where they truly want to be, and they're thinking that, maybe why bother? I've been doing this for 2 years. I'm not getting the results I want. Maybe I'm even going backwards. You've now proven to that person and to so many other people that's just a part of the journey. that the journey continues, and as long as you don't quit, there's always an opportunity to learn something new and build on it and completely live the best life ever. You've continued on by even more demonstrating that there's no age that defines this journey. It doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter how young you are, none of that matters. What matters is we say I want to do this, and I'm gonna remind myself on the attendance goal platform, do the things that I can control, slowly, smallly, in incremental steps, so I build the true habits of completely changing my life. March 8th, 2020. You've been reborn. You've been re-gifted an opportunity to live the life that you were destined to live. Happy birthday, right? I don't know when your real birthday is, but let's start celebrating that one because that's when you got to the point where you said, okay, I'm a different person. And I got here by perseverance. And so I got here by focus. I got here by determination. And you took the courage and strength to share it with our community and let other people know that the secret to success is never giving up on the dream. The secret to your success is wanting it enough to try. And if it's not working, try something else. And if that doesn't work, try something different. But the answer is never to quit. Never is giving up ever going to get you to where you want to go. So Rose, thank you for proving that point. And along the way, those achievable goals that you set, I do call them attendance goals. And the reason for that is because showing up is a bulk of what we're after. You committed to yourself every Sunday, go in and weigh into a workshop no matter what. That's what gave you the courage to go, okay, I can try this a little bit harder. And I think I'm putting words in other people's mouths, but I think at some point, when we show up week after week after week and we're not getting the results that we want, we kind of go into this mindset of why bother? And nothing could be further from the truth right now. The reason you bother is because maybe that's the workshop where Nancy walks in. That's the workshop where Rose walks in and says, look what I did. That may be the one that gets you to go, okay, I'm in this. I'm ready. And so you've got to be there every single opportunity because you don't know which workshop is going to provide the little bit of inspiration that you needed. The one missing piece to your puzzle was missing. You don't know which workshop holds it. So if you skip one, you may have to go even longer because it may not come around again for a couple more weeks. So don't ever quit on yourself. Don't ever give up on yourself. I don't care if it's 8 years. I don't care if it's 10 years. I don't care if it's a lifetime of doing this. You're worth it. You're absolutely worth it. Ignore the naysayers. Follow your path. Stay in your lane. Do the things you know work. Repeat them over and over and over again. Incorporate the exercise. Find the meeting. Make time for you. I end most of my workshops with thanking the community for putting themselves on their own calendar. That's really what showing up at a workshop does to me. It tells me that you're actively engaged and wanting to improve yourself. There's nothing more valuable than that. I don't even, for you in your own words, I don't regret the time it's taken for you to go. I celebrate every single aspect of that. So keep up the amazing work and really, thank you for sharing and really just being a part of the journey. And the last piece I want to focus on is the part that it's a favorite part of my story is scanning stuff at the grocery store, and that's your opportunity to make the decision if you want it or not. When you scan it at the grocery store, my favorite analogy is the 12-pack of soda, right? You scan it at the grocery store and you scan it and you get the number. You then bring it home. You have 12 opportunities to have to force yourself to resist it, right? It's only one opportunity at the grocery store. So it's one decision at the grocery store. If you bring it home, it's 12 more. And you deplete that willpower going down and down and down and down again. But if you scan it ahead of time and you make the choice ahead of time and you plan for what it is you want, you have the opportunity to change your life. And, it is everything we go through, everything we learn, all the lessons that we've taken get us to where we are today. And it's our burden. It's what we have to carry so that we can relate to others and we can understand what other people need to hear as their spark, as their inspiration, as their motivation to reach whatever goal they set up for themselves. Rose, 82 pounds. 82 pounds. It's a whole new life. From a size 20 down to a size 6. Amazing journey. I'm so proud of you. Thanks for writing in. Your heart should be full. Your heart absolutely should be full because the community who you've gifted with your story is full in celebration with you as well. Rose, thanks for writing in and thanks for celebrating with us. It's truly an honor to read your email on the show. Folks, I always want to know what it is you're celebrating. It's the favorite part of this podcast, and I want to share your story. I want to share it on the air. Go to fatdag.com, click on the WhysAdvice podcast. Send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. I want you to email in your story and your celebrations because I want you to be proud of what you're doing. You heard the excitement. You could see the smile. If she was on camera, that smile would be from side to side, I promise you. And there is no way you could sit next to her, sit on a Zoom call with her, and not smile along with her. That's what sharing does. That's what the power of your words do. It's why I encourage you, send it in. Email in on air at fatdag.com. Let's share this. Let's make the world a better place. Go be a Nancy. Well, that's going to do it for this time. Remember, losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. From Jacob editing remotely, Lisa and Heather from the content production team, Janine sitting there in the Facebook chat. Hey, we wish you good focus. Could you tell that fired me up? I could not live in an apartment because neighbors would be so mad at me. I don't talk softly. I'm sorry. It just does not happen. When I get going, I yell into this microphone. I didn't even look at the board to see if I was lighting the board up. I'm probably sure I blasted out the audio more than once because even at this level, it's a little too much, but I don't care. If the audio sounds terrible, then so be it. Kathy says super letters. Jan says great show. Awesome show, says Melissa. Jean says great show. So thank you. Truly fun. Truly fun to be on this journey with you guys. It really is. And I'm telling you, quitting is not the answer. It's not even close. Even if it was multiple choice, that wouldn't even be listed as an option, right? I'm just telling you, right? When you take a multiple choice test, they give you an option that's close. They would not put quitting as an option because it's not even close to what we're supposed to be doing on this journey. So, guys, keep up the amazing work. Thanks for being a part of this community. Do the things I told you earlier. Go to get the workbook if you don't have the workbook. Get into the Discord community. I want to see you inside there. I'm learning a lot of ways to make that better for us. So I've opened that up. Go to fatdag.com. Everything is on the website. The workbook is there. The merch is there. The link into the community. Click on the connect link inside the Discord chat. Just get in and email us in. Email in on air at fatdag.com. Be a part of this. And so Pat agrees. Quitting is not an option. Let's see who else. So, yep, agreed. So, very fun. Maria says, great show. And Lana says, always gives me motivation to continue on. That's what it's all about right there. Continue on. So, on that note, can you explain Discord? Pat says, yes, real quick. Discord is it's a text-based chat room. So there are what they call channels. Each channel is a subject. So we have a channel for running. We have a channel for walking. We have a channel for recipes. We have a channel for non-scale victories. So when you click on that channel, it shows you the conversation related to that topic. And so it kind of threads communication. And so it's just an opportunity to engage with other people who are strictly WW, Fat Dag, Wise Wingman people. It's not open to the public. It's not on Facebook. It's similar to a Facebook group, but it's just not Facebook. And so the value is when you're in there, there's no other distractions that are going to come out at you. And you can get in there and you can focus on what it is you want to focus on in a community of people you want. You can private message back and forth with each other if you wanted to. But it's just we had about 200 and I think it's about 230 so people in there right now. The patron community, we've been testing it as a Patreon community for the longest time. And I finally now figured out a way to say, let me make it open to the rest. So I figured that out. It is kind of like Connect Group, but I think it's a little better. But anyway, that's just my opinion. It's a little more, it's intimidating at first, I get it, but you can edit your comments, you can interact with people differently. It's a community. Let's just leave it at that. It's a community. And Venetia says it's an awesome area where it's a safe place. That's it. It's a safe place to visit and share. So that's what that is. So anyway, so check it out. You can get there by clicking the connect button on fatdag.com over on the WhysAdvice podcast link. So on that note, I'm out of here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the show. Thanks for joining me live. That's my favorite part, is watching you guys hang out here live with me. So it's cool. It's fun. It's a neat little Wednesday gift that we give each other. So thank you for that. And we will be in touch soon. Take care. I wish you good focus.